is Puff Daddy. It's Puff Daddy. Puppy. Just a few words.
I don't know. We don't know.
You don't know
Probably
yet.
not, since we haven't heard anything, but it's okay.
Wait, are you guys here together?
Either do we.
Are you guys here together?
No.
Jennifer Lopez has reportedly escaped the country after receiving a serious threat from none other than Diddy. Yeah, you heard that right. The FBI is even involved, and J-Lo didn't waste any time getting out of town. But what exactly went down between these two, and why did Diddy's threat force J-Lo to make such a huge move? We're going to break it all down for you. Everything from their rocky past to what's happening right now. So, stick with us till the end. Jennifer Lopez and Diddy have quite a history together. If you didn't already know, these two were the it couple in the late 90s.
Access Hollywood caught up with Diddy recently, who had very nice things to say about you and your judging on the show. He thinks you're doing a great job. He says, let me find the quote, the way she's handled it, she's been such a compassionate person, it made me cry like twice. And then he's gonna be a mentor on the show. So he said he's gonna be the one to show the kids how to do it.
Right.
Do you have any advice for him to come on?
No, I mean, he knows what he's doing. I don't have really anything. No advice for him.
No advice for him. Anything to say about the kind words?
It's nice.
Their relationship was the talk of the town. Paparazzi followed them everywhere. But things weren't always smooth sailing, especially after that infamous nightclub incident in 1999. In December 1999, Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, and Jennifer Lopez were out together at a nightclub in New York City. Everything was going smoothly until shots were fired inside the club, which led to chaos. 3 people were injured in the shooting, and Diddy, along with J-Lo, was caught up in the aftermath. They were both taken into custody after fleeing the scene in Diddy's SUV. The media went wild, and the case dominated headlines for months.
But this is interesting, Natanya. Rodney Jones, also known as Little Rod, is now suing Diddy for sexual harassment. That's something that's been in the headlines for the last couple of days. And there's a very interesting quote from his lawsuit that relates back to you that I want to read because it sort of ties all of this together. And it says, Jones claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. So now you have Little Rod in this new lawsuit saying that Diddy told him that he actually was responsible. I mean, what did you think when you read that?
Well, I was incensed for a number of reasons. First and foremost, for the past quarter of a century, he's vehemently denied that he was responsible, even though I knew wholeheartedly, and as so many others who were in the club that night, we all knew he was responsible.
Diddy was later charged with gun possession and bribery, but he was acquitted after a lengthy trial.
This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
Jennifer, who was also questioned, was cleared of any involvement, but the incident took a major toll on their relationship. Shortly after the trial, J-Lo and Diddy broke up, and it was clear that the shooting had been a huge turning point for both of them. Since then, both have gone on to have wildly successful careers. J-Lo became a global icon with her music, movies, and business ventures, while Diddy built an empire in hip-hop and fashion. But even though their relationship ended, they've always been somewhat connected in the public eye.
You saw that green Versace dress that J-Lo wore before any of us. When she came out, what did you say when you saw that dress for the first time?
Just wow. We were all having such a great time in fashion and pushing the fashion envelopes, and then we were just stepping up our game. I thought it was gonna really change the game, you know, as far as for her in fashion, but I didn't know how big it was gonna be. But it was a great moment for her. She deserved it. She's one of the flyest out there.
Yeah, well, she thinks that of you too. She named you one of the great loves of her life.
Yeah,
Was she one of yours too?
Yeah, without it.
And now, all these years later, they're back in the headlines together, but for all the wrong reasons. So, what exactly happened? What's this threat everyone's talking about? Well, from what we know so far, Diddy allegedly made a very serious threat against J-Lo. And it wasn't just any offhand remark. It was apparently something so intense that J-Lo felt her safety was at risk. Diddy, with his massive influence and power in the industry, might have threatened to expose or ruin something from Jennifer's past. Maybe it was something related to their time together, or maybe it's connected to the nightclub incident that got both of them in legal trouble back in the day. He could have used his connections to potentially harm her career, reputation, or even her personal life. Something like, "You'll never work in this town again." Or even more directly, "I'll make sure you regret ever crossing me."
You have to know this. You have to know this because I don't think know this. This guy right here is your biggest fan from the bad boy era. You and Mace are his heroes, okay? It's like every party we do, anything we do is like, what up, Buffy and Mace? What up, Buffy and Mace?
Considering Diddy's power and reach, a threat like that wouldn't just be words. It could mean serious action, like leveraging his influence in the entertainment world to shut doors for her or cause issues in her personal life. It could have even been something more personal, like targeting her family or people close to her.
You think I could book that for like the weekend of the 14th when the soundtrack comes out? If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. All right, love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
Now let's talk about J-Lo's reaction, because it's pretty clear she wasn't going to stick around and see how this all played out. As soon as she got wind of the threat, Jennifer made a quick decision. She was getting out of there, and not just out of town. She left the country. Apparently, her inner circle worked with law enforcement to make sure she was safe, but Jennifer wasn't waiting around for anyone. She took matters into her own hands and hopped on a plane to an undisclosed location. We still don't know exactly where she went, but sources say she's somewhere far away, staying under the radar until things cool down. What's even crazier is that this all happened super fast. J-Lo didn't waste any time. The moment she realized how serious the situation was, she was gone. It makes sense though, right? I mean, if you feel like your life is in danger, you do whatever you need to do to stay safe. And in J-Lo's case, that meant leaving her entire life behind for a bit.
I didn't like him because, Sean and I were very different that way. I was very family oriented, and that's how I was raised. Once I got to know him and, we became friends first, and then we developed this bond. We both understood where we were at that time in our lives, and we both knew nobody else understood exactly how we felt.
So, why did the FBI get involved in all of this? Well, when you've got a celebrity as big as Jennifer Lopez being threatened, and the person doing the threatening is as powerful as Diddy, it becomes a serious matter pretty fast. And the FBI doesn't play around when it comes to threats against high-profile people. It turns out that the threat was considered credible enough for federal agents to step in. So far, we don't have too many details on what exactly the FBI is doing, but it's clear that they're taking this case very seriously. Whether they're looking into Diddy's communications, digging into past incidents, or keeping tabs on his movements, one thing is for sure, they're involved, and they're making sure J-Lo stays safe. Jennifer Lopez's escape from the country was nothing short of a well-planned mission. When you're one of the most famous people on the planet, you can't just jump on a flight like the rest of us. There's a lot that goes into ensuring someone like J-Lo can leave safely without anyone tracking her down. From what we've heard, she was whisked away in a private jet to a location that's being kept secret. Her team coordinated everything down to the smallest detail, from the flight path to the security measures taken once she landed. The goal was to make sure nobody, not even the press, knew where she was heading. It's kind of crazy to think about, right? This isn't just about skipping town for a vacation. This is a full-on escape plan. And with the FBI involved, they were helping to make sure everything went smoothly. There are rumors that she's somewhere in Europe, but those are just speculations at this point. Wherever she is, it's clear that she's laying low until the situation is under control. I mean, can you blame her? After everything that's gone down, I'd probably want to disappear for a while too. When the news broke that Jennifer Lopez had left the country after receiving a threat from Diddy, the public went into a frenzy. Fans were shocked, and the media jumped on the story immediately. Now let's talk about what this whole situation could mean for Jennifer Lopez's career. She's one of the hardest working people in showbiz, with multiple projects in the works at any given time. Concerts, movies, TV shows, you name it. But with this sudden escape, everything's been put on hold. Fans are already wondering what's going to happen to her upcoming appearances and performances. Will she cancel her next tour? What about the movie she was supposed to start filming? These are big questions, and right now, nobody really knows the answers. It's possible that J-Lo might need to take a step back from the spotlight for a while to focus on her safety and well-being. And while that's totally understandable, it could also have an impact on her professional commitments. She's always been known for her work ethic, so it's hard to imagine her staying away for too long. But in a situation like this, her personal safety obviously comes first. So far, Diddy hasn't said much publicly about the situation, but you can bet he's feeling the heat right now. His name is all over the headlines, and not in a good way. Being linked to a serious threat against someone like Jennifer Lopez isn't exactly great for your public image. There are a lot of questions surrounding his involvement. Did he really make this threat? If so, what pushed him to do it? Right now, we don't have all the answers, but it's clear that Diddy's team is in damage control mode. They're likely working behind the scenes to figure out how to handle this PR nightmare. In the past, Diddy has been involved in some controversies, but nothing quite like this. He's had legal battles, including lawsuits involving altercations, and has been accused of using his influence in aggressive or manipulative ways within the music industry.
I want to bring in Myla Morales. She's a former makeup artist for Diddy and also Cassie Ventura, working for Diddy for years and eventually becoming a friend of Cassie's. In 2010, Myla alleges that she heard Cassie being physically abused and was a witness to the aftermath of the alleged attack.
Another infamous moment came when Diddy was arrested for allegedly attacking a UCLA football coach with a kettlebell in 2015, although those charges were later dropped. What's trending? Even though he's known as a business mogul and a music icon, Diddy's controversies have always lingered in the background. While none of these past incidents involved threats as serious as the one J.Lo is reportedly facing now, they show a pattern of Diddy getting involved in some pretty intense situations. Depending on what the investigation reveals, Diddy could be facing some serious legal consequences. If the threat is confirmed to be credible, he might be looking at charges related to making threats, or even something more severe, depending on how things unfold. It's also possible that Jennifer Lopez could pursue legal action against him. If she feels that her life was genuinely in danger, she could file a restraining order or take other legal steps to protect herself. At this point, everything is still unfolding, but it's clear that the legal side of this story is just beginning.
Jennifer, do you think Diddy deserves to be in jail? Are you gonna be Diddy's witness, Jennifer?
If Diddy is charged, it could lead to a long legal battle that plays out in the public eye. And let's be real, whenever celebrities are involved in legal cases, it becomes a media circus. Lawyers will likely be making statements, there might be court appearances, and the whole thing could drag on for months. And this isn't the first time we've seen a high-profile celebrity involved in a situation like this. Over the years, plenty of stars have faced threats and had to take drastic measures to protect themselves. Think about stars like Taylor Swift, who's had her fair share of stalkers, or even Princess Diana, who was constantly dealing with security issues. In many of these cases, the celebrities involved had to take similar steps, hiring extra security, changing their lifestyles, and sometimes even going into hiding for a while. The entertainment world can be a dangerous place, especially when fame and fortune are involved. So, what happens next? Well, this story is far from over. The FBI is still investigating, and we're likely to hear more details about the threat in the coming days. Whether Diddy will face any legal consequences, or if Jennifer Lopez will return to the U.S. anytime soon, remains to be seen. What do you think about all this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update on this or any of the latest celebrity news.